The Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus has heightened the expectations of phone cameras by reinventing something which no other smartphone has. Now, besides the camera, what other great features are there in the phone? Let's find out. Hey, what's up guys, Adam Lobo here and you're watching Adam Lobo TV. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I release high quality tech videos absolutely for free every single week. And if you're returning as a subscriber, hey! Now first of all, a huge shout out to Samsung Malaysia for sending out this device. Now unboxing the S9 Plus is of course a similar experience with the S8 Plus where you will need to slide the cover down. Now after lifting the front folded flap to the side, there will be a flat black box which contains the reset pin, a clear phone case, good job Samsung, the quick start guide and warranty card, then of course the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus phone itself. And right underneath there's a USB fast charging adapter, the OTG USB connector, and this is of course to connect your phone to your PC for transferring data, the micro USB to USB-C converter, and then opening up the box above is where you will get the USB-A to USB-C cable, the AKG wired earphones, and the extra ear tips. Now the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus comes with 3 different available colors for you guys to choose from. First is the familiar midnight black and the 2 new colors which is lilac purple and coral blue. Now starting from the specs, the phone comes with the Exynos 9810 Octa chipset with 6 gigs of RAM, 64, 128 or 256 gigs of storage, comes in shipped with the Android 8.0 and it also has Bluetooth 5.0 with aptX support. Now the phone's display is a 6.2-inch display with a screen resolution of 2960 x 1440 Super AMOLED display and is still hands down the best display on any smartphone right now, which even other smartphone flagships decided to get it as well. You know who I'm talking about, right? Yep. And there's a higher 84.2% screen to body ratio, and yes, without a notch. And going further on the physical traits of the phone, the S9 Plus comes with 2 buttons at the side, which is the volume rocker and the Bixby button on the left, the screen lock button on the right, then there's the SIM card and the micro SD card slot on top, which supports up to 400 gigs of storage. Holy! Then down below there's a headphone jack, and here's where I would really applaud Samsung for not getting rid of it, just like other flagship phones out there. Then there's a USB-C port to charge the device, and one of the 2 external speakers, where there is another additional stereo listening speaker at the earpiece of the phone, which makes it a better listening experience compared to the S8 Plus, as it's tuned by AKG and it also has Dolby Atmos surround sound as well.
I'm crossing you in style someday.
Now looking right at the back of the phone, it is still made out of glass since it still has the wireless charging, and the biggest design change is of course the fingerprint sensor placement, and I really think that it's great that Samsung has decided to take the feedback from us, the user, to readjust the placement of that. So good job Samsung, and once again, very nice. And just next to it is the camera, where it's the biggest highlight of the phone. It is packed with a dual 12 megapixel camera where it has the variable aperture value from f1.5 to f2.4 for the primary camera and f2.4 aperture for the telephoto lens. And it's the only phone available right now which has the variable aperture lens. Now, in case you guys are not familiar with the meaning of variable aperture, first of all, aperture means the amount of light which goes into the lens, which would be great for low light situations, and variable aperture means that the camera changes between the different aperture depending on the current lighting condition, as the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus changes between an aperture of f1.5 to f2.4 to ensure that you have the sharpest images depending on the current lighting situation. So usually by default, it starts at f2.4 and adjusts automatically to go into a wider aperture once the lighting conditions goes below 100 lux, or you can adjust the aperture manually through the Pro mode on the camera app. And as for the front camera, it has an 8 megapixel camera with the aperture of f1.7, similar to the S8 Plus. And there's even additional features like the slow-mo feature where it records at 240 frames per second at 1080p, and then there's this super slow-mo feature of 960 frames per second at 720p. And this is done through the automatic motion detection feature where it records exactly where the square area is. It waits for motion and then immediately records 0.2 seconds once it detects motion. But in my recommendation, be sure to do this in a proper lit area to achieve a higher quality video. And then there's so many other modes within the stock camera app as well, depending on the front or the back camera, where you can just swipe left to right to easily change between the modes such as auto, live focus, Pro mode, panorama, wide selfie, and selfie focus. As expected, the pictures were absolutely great with the amazing dynamic range since it's HDR10 compliant, and it also works very well in low light conditions with the lowest ever aperture of f1.5 as mentioned earlier. Now, as for video, it records up to a UHD 4K up to 60 frames per second, and the optical image stabilization supports up to 30 frames per second. And of course, there's a huge improvement now on Bixby, such as the super cool live translate feature where you can translate different language words on the spot for a live view, and I honestly found myself using the Bixby button way more compared to the Google Assistant when I use the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. And last but not least, what is also new is the AR emoji, where it takes the front-facing shot of yourself and creates a live animated version of you, so you can use that to record and even send videos or even transform into an animated character as well. And what's also cool is that you can then share it on your messages app like WhatsApp, and then there's even preloaded gifts for different types of emotions, which is created by default. Now, in terms of battery life, it has 3500 milliamps of battery, and in my first impressions of using this phone for the past week, the battery life has improved so much compared to the S8 Plus, where usually I would get a battery percentage at about 60% at about 11 AM when I'm in the office, but I got up to 81% battery and I was close to 12 PM. And yes, this includes my 45 minutes of YouTube consumption during my cardio sessions at 7 AM and of course using Waze to work as well. Now, in conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus would indeed be the best phone to have right now, especially if you're used to Samsung devices or if you are within the overall Samsung ecosystem like the Samsung earbuds, the Gear, or even the S3 smartwatch. It may not be a must-have if you're coming from the S8 Plus, but the camera and all the other additional features definitely gives this phone a great upgrade if you guys are looking for a brand new phone. As usual, I would still recommend for you guys to get the phone from official Samsung retailers if you guys are planning to get one. And once again, a huge thanks goes out to Samsung Malaysia for sending out this Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Like, share and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so. Don't forget to hit the bell icon just next to it to get notified for every single time I release a brand new video. This is Adam Lobo and I'll catch you guys as usual next week.